There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
How do you know? Did you find some evidence or something?
Yeah, maybe if you looked around, you would have found it too, instead of fucking sticking in the dojo being like, I can't find anything!
Listen, she sneezed.
It's been really rough on her.
Listen.
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind must have been using that to control him all this time, so there can't be any doubt the mastermind has been inside the school all along. There can't be any doubt, in which case there cause to be no doubt that the mastermind was with us.
What? Why?
Recall Makoto told us when Monokuma said to him earlier.
I'm sure I told you. Oh.
16 participants are in high school
16
students.
students.
And the only people
Only
participating in the
16
7 host
students.
game
That's
begin
it.
after 16
Mukuro
students.
Kisivi, the 16 student.
So the mastermind is in the school.
Look out for her.
16 students.
But how did they manage to survive all this?
So we're the only ones here? Hey, it's not me. I'm not the mastermind. No, duh.
Duh,
we
you're
believe
not.
you. We
Who's
also
not
believe you.
here to control the bear? Well, it's not me.
I blame Makoto.
Makoto's
you, man.
Here. He's here.
What? Why me?
Cause it's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed.
You saw how I survived. You saw Alter Ego save me. I can't
He's
explain the.
also here.
I
and
also
Monokuma
can't. I can't
is
explain.
moving.
Here.
I mean, I can't explain how I fell from that great of a height and not suffer any sort of blow. But
But who isn't here?
Oh, I get it. The only way he could have survived is if he was actually the main character. I mean, the mastermind himself, right?
Well, he's still the main character. I'm nuts, you got me.
wait, what are you trying to say? Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic. The mastermind's true identity will soon become clear soon enough. Just as soon as we find out who killed Mukuro. That's a good point. Rather than wasting time bickering, we should put our minds to work on solving this mystery.
Well, yeah, well, how many times have you already spent talking about the murder?
He's right. What more is there to talk about?
If you want something to talk about, I think there might be one thing. We haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
Huh? But I thought we figured that out. She died when she got hit in the back of the head.
No, that isn't actually what killed her. It was something entirely different. Wouldn't you agree, Makoto? Mukuro's actual cause of death must have been the other wounds.
The other ones.
All of the wounds covering her body. Wait, I like the idea of Makoto thinking like with his finger on his chin, like the previous pose that he had. And then once he figured thinking, he switched his hand over so that his index finger is touching his chin. Did you see that just now? All of the wounds covering her body, that's what really killed her.
Oh, hey, hold on a second. You did the Monokuma file, right?
The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old.
They made it pretty clear those wounds made at least a few days ago. So they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took place at least a few days ago?
What?
What if, when we discovered her body, she had already been dead for several days? If that's true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old.
That doesn't make any sense. Because she had all those wounds before she ever came here.
How do you know that?
Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier, right? So that means, you know.
Obviously, when you're a soldier, you get a lot of scratches on you. You're wrong.
If she was the ultimate soldier, wouldn't that mean she had no scratches?
She denied me before I could even say anything.
You can't have her, she's mine!
Gross.
Come on. I mean, you think I'm not weird, okay? At least listen to what I have to say before you deny me.
If you're so sure we're gonna deny you, why bother saying it in the first place?
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie literature club.
Okay.
Probably a performance. Mukuro's the ultimate soldier. She must have been in 100 different battles.
The fuck? She's
So when you think about it,
Obviously, she got all those wounds in the battle.
Something about her wounds. Were
Obviously, she got all those wounds in the battle. You didn't deny me this time, Wimes.
Oh, you made me
Timesy.
go cutesy.
Get the fuck.
Don't worry, there, Iron ain't. Well, it's anything cute. Fire.
No, those wounds
Wait,
didn't
what
come
was
from the
even orange?
battlefield. One look at what was written about her, and that should all become clear.
I don't remember what was said there. What was the orange thing? So there was the ultimate soldier and...
Ultimate
And-
Soldier, and then
all
those
the wounds
battles
were from
before she
battles or
came
something?
here.
Okay, so it'd be the wounds before she came here. And like,
Could
her
we
profile
use-
would say that she doesn't have any wounds, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, this is. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the thing I was thinking about. I was
No,
like, I
it was
couldn't
did not
remember.
have
Yeah.
a single
Okay.
scar.
Okay.
You're fucking wrong.
Why did your Makoto say that?
No, Mukuro didn't suffer those wounds in battle. The file we found in the headmaster's room said as much. Despite the time she spent in battle after battle as a member of whatever, when she entered the school, she hadn't sustained a single injury.
To be denied so completely. Actually, it's kind of refreshing.
Don't fall in love with me, I'm me.
Maybe it's because of all Master's training.
Anyway, so you can be sure that Mukuro suffered all those wounds after coming to the school. In which case, they could be very well the thing that killed her. As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and her head wound came after she was already dead. Unless anyone has any better suggestions, I think we can say this with confidence. The wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body are what ultimately killed her. She's the ultimate boobies.
Booby.
Boobies. Ultimate boobies.
The ultimate booby.
Wait,
What?
are those the wounds that Junko got when she got skewered?
No.
What?
When Junko got killed for hitting Monokuma or something, she got skewered by a bunch of spears or like spikes or something that came from the ground. And something about the
Yeah,
shape
that
of
is how
those
she died.
wounds reminds me
Like
of.
Isn't this just a hypothetical image, not like a proof image?
Well, this is
No,
showing
that's
the
where
wounds she
that's
has.
where the stabs are.
Okay. But if that's what killed her.
But then again, the the days since Junko was that happened to Junko until now, has it not been a very long time?
It's been at least several days.
Yeah, it's not been like weeks or anything.
Oh, I thought it was been longer. Okay.
No, it's just only taken us months to play this.
Okay. Oh, that's true. You're right. You're absolutely right. It felt like a longer time. Okay. Did you read this midnight?
Yeah, I read the line.
Okay.
Then does that mean she's really dead for who knows how long?
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already been dead for several days. It's me! This
Night
is
boy.
probably gonna be the final time you see me! But it's been fun! Because you said you were attacked in your room by a master servant.
Do they sell that mask when I get it for everyone for Christmas?
Oh my god.
You wanna get it for everyone for Christmas, you said?
Then we
for
can
all
all dress
y'all.
up as the masked man. And we can take turns lying in a bed and standing over each other.
Oh, that would be really actually fun to do if you were at a con or
Imagine
something.
taking a picture of it where it's like the masked person lying in the bed and the masked person in the bed.
They're both
They
holding
both
a
have
knife.
knives.
If you had enough people, you could just set up the class trial to have everyone in the mask, including people in the frames.
And some of them are dead and it's just a portrait of the masked guy that's on it.
Oh man. If Booker had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her. Who was it that attacked you? The identity of the one who attacked me, I can't think of anyone else. The mastermind. The one who attacked me was the true mastermind. When we discovered Mukuro in the garden wearing the same mask,
Oh.
You thought you saw the last of me, but this time it's probably really gonna be the last of me. I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me, but I was wrong. It wasn't her at all. It was the mastermind.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in. Let's start off with a nice, easy question.
Okay.
Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true identity of the masked attacker is Makuri Kusama, the 16th student. You should have looked out for her.
At least that's what I think.
At least that's what I think. Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise?
No, there's no way that Makuro's the one that attacked me, even if I didn't see their face.
Oh my god.
Their team's a charm!
Didn't get the last of me.
Mukuro had a very obvious Finner tattoo comparing that to the masked attacker. It should be obvious.
No tattoo.
You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who's under that mask. I'm telling you right now, it's Makuri Kusama.
What?
Where'd you shoot it?
I don't know. I just assumed
I
that.
don't know why I did that.
Do we only have one bullet?
Yes.
Okay, we definitely have to absorb. Just don't know what.
Probably absorbed that.
That's probably what's wrong. That we have to shoot.
You're wrong. Even without seeing her
that
face, there's
face.
another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her. Oh, what's she gonna play? Oh shit! Right
right
hand.
hand.
Right hand. Fuck off!
Maybe
Get
the
out of
right
here!
foot,
Yes.
Or perhaps the left foot, or could it be the hips?
Go back to the Crocs. Is it right hand?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the right hand.
Twas.
That was the hand holding the knife.
Twas the knife that in the hand it was holded.
Twas the knife that had the tattoo.
Oh! Surprise! Oh yeah. I was gonna say, like, surprisingly, instead of thinking about the mask picture to help me remember which hand it was the one of her hand. Like, the tattoo hand. You would think after seeing the
actual
mask
hand
one
that
so
was
many
burned?
times that you
Yeah.
would... that would be the one I remember, but apparently not. Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly. A representation of Finner, in other words, a wolf tattoo. But I saw that right hand on the person who attacked me. Use my hands without my fingernails. What do you think? It's pretty gross, right?
Hey.
There was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her. But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, you know, someone else, right?
No.
Hero took a hint I have toilet I was for the entire night.
Yeah, we were in the giant tearing you apart, so it couldn't have been any of us.
It couldn't have been Kyoko because
Just
she's my
straight tearing
girlfriend.
it up. Skanking.
What the fruit?
Did you say skanking?
Skanking, yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard that word in a verb form before.
Some fucking ska. Okay, sure, it could have been any of you. But what about you, Kyoko? It could have totally been her.
No, she's my girlfriend.
But
She
we
would
saw
never.
her.
But she's got scars on her hands, so like
Oh yeah.
we've noticed that too. No, Snappy, come
we ever
back.
see
Did
them
I
or-
score a bullseye?
Is that why they made those hands so unnaturally smooth? It's to make it so that whenever Kyoko shows her scars or whatever on her hands, it's to make it absolutely clear that
Super obvious.
these hands are
guess so.
hella blank and smooth.
These hands?
These hands.
I said it.
Okay. If you insist, I don't mind showing you.
Huh? Showing me what?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it wasn't me. Before anyone could say anything, I see your sexy hands. Oh, they're burnt to shit. Coco was removing her gloves. Your hands! Without thinking, I let out a gasp. It was more than just a little burned skin. Awful, isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced. I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars. I find it strange
to grab fire. It was a clue.
Why is this the angle that they chose to show us the hand?
I don't
So
know.
you can't really see it because they're like,
Because
oh,
we're
it's
not her
gross.
friends. Makoto is.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me. Kyoto seems to savor the words as she said them. Then she put her gloves back on. My scars should suffice as proof. Look at my smooth ass hands.
You will see me again.
Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine? I mean, they're about as brown as yours. No, not at all.
What
I'm
if they were
positive.
wearing human gloves like Frankie in One Piece?
Yeah.
Does he do that? Those are...
Yeah.
Oh,
His human hands are just a glove, and then there's iron underneath.
Gross.
I don't know if you would call that a glove. It's more like... Oh, whatever.
Cover.
Then this
What
much...
if it was his
I
real
mean,
hand?
what is a glove
then-
but a hand cover?
Alright,
What?
Wait.
that's enough.
Never mind.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind. Oh, he's shy.
This is just awful. On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry, but did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings. I hope I did.
Not at all. You can say whatever you want.
Sure, as long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet. This is a circle. Because you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Makuro's death are totally unknown.
Now I figured it out.
Oh, that's true. Well, right now she was killed a good while before this morning.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
You're not gonna tell us she was already dead before we were out here. I can tell you.
In that regard, you have nothing to worry about. I promise you without a doubt she died after our little killing game began here.
Then somehow she was killed in secret without any of us knowing.
And after she died, who knows how much time she went before we found her, right? Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could she?
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed, just like your brain.
So was she? Oh, okay, I see. So she was in the morgue because they had took the tarp from the biolab and waited until it was time to bring her out to the garden, and that's why. Okay, got it.
Then she was being stored somewhere?
But to hide a body here, just to store it somewhere?
Also, if I am right in all this and I'm just saying it out loud, I'm sorry if you guys are like kind of like if you guys were having your own theories and I was kind of like fucking it up by saying mine out loud. Sorry.
Oh, I already know what happens. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so do I. So.
And I've seen the anime.
Oh. Okay, so I truly am the one going.
So you can say whatever you
Yeah,
want.
you can do whatever you want. The hard
Okay.
part is us not going, oh. So.
Okay. Okay. Stored. There's only one place. I can't think of anywhere else the body could have been stored. In the pool.
The pool!
The water would
putting
kept
my
it from
bodies in that
decomposing.
pool.
Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
The biolab? You mean on the 5th floor?
What is this line in the middle of the screen? Do you guys see that when they're moving around? It's just like a line that kind of like... I'll have to wait later.
I'd have to wait.
That's right, it's actually set up for use as a morgue, so it's the perfect place to hide a body and it be kept the body preserved at the same time. The nurse is saying that the body was moved from the biolab to the garden. And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof. The proof that shows the body was carried from the biolab to the garden. There's something that made its way from the biolab in the garden.
No.
What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it says biolab.
Holy cow, how'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Well, if you're looking at a tarp that has
read.
essentially nothing but that, of course you would notice it. That's how you investigate. Because your neat pretty nature seems to have the perfect timing. No, this proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it there.
Or it's just a really convenient blood splatter that looks like it says biolab.
So hit a stencil on top of the tarp so that when you kill someone, it would only say that. So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed the tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as is, and it was to protect against the sprinklers and put the coat on it afterwards.
Wow, you made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
Y'all just stupid.
But that's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved. Finally, we can talk about this fucking tarp.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened.
But
you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Worked up.
Now that the conversation has turned to a topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it? Jingo's body's not either.
Are you saying that Monokuma's a tarp?
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you talking about the mastermind?
Sorry, I thought you weren't gonna say it.
Whatever. It's fine.
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency, one so major that it can't be overlooked. An inconsistency in the biolab? Could you be talking about?
Oh my god, that was close. He was too close.
La la la! La la la!
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him. I need to pull myself together and think. The inconsistency in the biolab, could you be talking about?
Hey, by the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think I'm talking about? The thing? Your family?
Are you threatening me?
Those kids?
What?
Your family? Your wife?
I'm talking about distracting you.
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message.
Oh, who gives a shit? I've been gone from them for so long that I don't really care anymore.
So what do you think? Are your family still okay?
Well, I will never know if I'm stuck in here. Makoto, what? Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister?
Ina's just like, ah!
What do you think has happened to your family?
Ah, yes, Makoto's family.
Yes!
Wow, he's being threatened right now!
Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that! Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset. Yeah, I need to calm down. I can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth to the biolab. So if I want to shut him up, I need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. The inconsistency has to be that one area where the numbers just don't match up. Why'd you fucking say the answer? I already knew it. Asshole.
They assume that you're really stupid.
Oh my god, am I fucking...
DDR battle.
DDR. You sure about this? I'm not listening. What are you talking about? You getting me riled up. That's impossible. God, I can't hear you. Better luck next time. What do you want? Punishment, punishment. Are you sure about this? Yeah. Proof.
Oh, I'm gonna hit him from the back. Huh?
Nope.
Wait, there might be multiple bullets. There you go.
This was the first time they ever did that. This was the first time we ever got multiple bullets for this part, because I always usually just hit Y.
It must have done it before, because I would have given you a tutorial.
No, it didn't.
at
I
one point.
swear to you, it didn't.
I think it did it once, and then it never did it again until now.
The inconsistency Kyoko was talking about is the lights.
What are you talking about? What about the light?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone else who's died is stored. And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on. In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot. But I counted up the numbers of the blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in, and there was only 9.
And I got this many.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version, how you mean?
Why don't you just listen to what we're saying? Just
I
a little
can't
bit.
do math.
Oh shit.
9 lights doesn't make sense. The number of lights that should be on is...
I just plus
This
1.
many.
10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious. Why?
Daft motherfuckers. That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far and it should become clear. That's right. That's the key to solving this mystery. Sayaka died first. Junko was... This isn't Junko. Junko was second. Leon was third. Chihiro was 4th. Mondo was 5th. Itaka was 6th. Ifumi was 7th. Celeste was 8th. Now it's Victim with 10 was Mukuro. So 10 people in all? That's right. Any other... Oh, sorry. I read... I didn't mean... Sorry, I read your line. That's right. Any other number should make you immediately... But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I get it. The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
Yeah, Smoke said it's because of... I think it's because of your difficulty setting. I was wondering if, like, because I was on gentle that it didn't show up.
I think it gave you a tutorial for it earlier on, but because of your difficulty settings, whenever it ever reached the end, it was always on the right bullet.
Yeah.
So you never had to worry about it.
So why this time it wasn't?
Because it's the final countdown.
Well, that's not fair to, like, just throw me in like that. Alright, fine, whatever. But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body since that actually killed her. They actually killed her, and yet her body was left alone.
Whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm lost. How can the number of it be less than the number of murders? Huh? What?
The reason there were less bodies than murders... The explanation for more murders and victims, why is that? What would it take for that to make sense? The
Only
same
9
person was...
took place.
The same person
was killed
That's the
twice.
same thing.
Yeah, that's what...
Well,
wait, what's the right answer?
The same person was killed twice is a dumb answer, because they're gonna take it literally. Being like, somebody just came back.
I think it might be that one.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
What about if the same person was
Stupid.
killed twice?
Because it's the same answer.
Killed twice?
I guess I guess 9 murders is wrong because then the one that Junko... That's like trying to say that Junko... The one that happened with Junko didn't happen. Right? But it technically did happen. It just wasn't Junko. So...
It's just weird how they
Yeah,
should
yeah.
have replaced it with a
really
different
bad.
thing.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
should have been completely different.
Yeah. Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far, but one of the victims may have been murdered and then murdered again.
Murdered again?
If that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, but still, something like that.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened. Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice? It was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as Mukuro Iksaba, the 60th son of the Hope Speak Academy, the ultimate distinguished watcher, she was killed as someone else. But that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab, which is the moment we found in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else. Come on.
It also helped that like that floor was completely locked until like close endgame, so no one could even like stumble across it.
It's like it was done on purpose.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a game.
Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Nothing's gonna become obvious. Because Kyoko's totally delusional.